Chicago, along with my man Doc Rock coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's a happy new year, first show of the season. Uh, I'm in a really good mood, because the USA won hockey last night. They won the World Junior Championships. So we just came off of our live stream and having a blast. Everybody's like all pumped up and everything. So I'm going to carry that emotion and energy right over to this one today with you guys, because we got a lot of stuff we want to cover and talk about. It's a new year, new technology, some new stuff happening. And Doc, where do you want to go with this today?
Bruh. Okay, so this one's crazy. This one's a little rough because there's always the guys out there that have an Android that are kind of PO'd. But you know what? Like, for the most part, people are out here are DJs. You're in a business. Your DJ career is a business. So if you got to go buy yourself an iPad or an iPhone just for this, I would suggest you do it. But the hot new, not really new, but the hot social media platform right now is Clubhouse. It's actually been out for a little over a year, but in the last couple of months, it's got like over, I think, 3 million new users.
Wow.
And of that 3 million, more than 1 million of them are active. And we're talking some of the heaviest hitters in every industry is in there. Okay, so in a nutshell, what Clubhouse is the hallway track at NAMM. or any other convention, right? So like okay, here's an example. When I used to go to Macworld all the time, right? I was a big time Mac blogger and stuff like that. When I would go to Macworld all the time, you would just be walking around, and then so I'm in the hallway and I bump into Sinbad, right? Turns out Sinbad is a very hardcore, like, techie Mac user. Same with Shaq, right? So first of all, he sticks out like a sore thumb because he's hecka tall. Same with Shaq. Shaq's
really?
super tall.
Really?
Yes.
Shaq's tall? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. I mean, Sinbad is tall, not Shaq.
Oh, no, Sinbad's a big boy, too.
Yeah. So he sticks out. And then, so we meet him in home. We're talking story. Come to find out he's a hardcore Mac user. And then he's like, hey, man, this is my first time coming to the show. I don't really know what to do. And I go, oh, yeah, I'm a tech writer. So I know all of the, like, good booths to go to. And so that first year, me, him, and my buddy Jerome, he was our guest. Like, Shaq, Jerome, and I, and my other buddy John, we walked around Macworld together. I mean, not Shaq, Sinbad. We walked around Macworld together, and we were introducing him to all of the cool stuff. And it was just random because, like, when at that time he's still kind of high up in his comedy game. Like, when would you ever just have a celebrity just, like, meet somebody, again, as a regular person? He's not in a celebrity environment. He's not having to be comedian. He's just being normal. I'm here to look for stuff to make my career better. And then he just, grab a couple of random dudes from Hawaii. And, of course, we gave him Hawaii chocolate, which is banging. And, we walked around and we had a good time. We were walking around for like 3-4 hours and, like, absolute blast, right? And you'll just run into people like that. Rob Corddry is another one who was, when he was making Children's Hospital on Comedy Channel, he would be at Macworld every time. And he's just walking around just like normal people, no entourage, no nothing, just Rob and another couple of his comedy writers. Come to find out later, one of the dudes is Jared Friedlander. I think that's how you say his name. He was the dude that wore the hat like this on 30 Rock. He always had the funny hats with some weird sayings on it or whatever. I think that's his name, Jared Friedlander, because he's still kind of the unknown comic, but he's actually a high-end writer for lots of shows. And so we're just walking around Macworld hanging out. So Clubhouse is sort of like that, right? You'll go into a room, and it could be, Damon from Shark Tank or, Hammer, Ryan Leslie, like all kind of like generally high-end guys in there, right? So I just saw that Vince popped on recently. So anyway, DJs right now, they're figuring out like how to set up their Rodecaster Pros and their iRigs and stuff so they can do sets in Clubhouse. You guys kind of need to stop that.
Don't ruin another service. Give us a break, guys.
There's one service and one service only as Mixcloud.
Don't do it. Exactly.
Just leave it alone. But nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to try to do what they want to do.
They all got to break it and break it.
But the
Break it,
business
break it.
side of it, right? Like listening to cats that you normally couldn't get business advice for. And a lot of times I'm just ambiently listening, right? So I'm at the shop, I'm like, engraving a bunch of bottles or, cleaning some stuff up or just moving around, driving in traffic. I'm just sitting there listening to random rooms about random business topics. And honestly, over the last 3 weeks of just absorbing that mess, man, I'm on a fire. Like I got like plans and directions and clarity, and like I pretty much know where I'm going this year.
Nice.
And where the secret sauce is though, is the growth potential in there. Because what happens is somebody who is elevated, right? So for instance, I was in a room called YouTubers Who Are Serious. And this is a room for people like me who are, trying to grow a channel, right? And so I'm in this room and I get called up for my question. I ask my question, and then somebody else asked the question right behind me. I was still on the stage. So after they said what they said, I offered some advice. Strangely enough, it was better advice than even the moderator did. And then the moderator was like, "Oh, yeah, you kind of know this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, you mind staying up and being a moderator?" And I'm like, "Okay." So now I'm in the room and I'm a moderator with cats that I follow on YouTube that I look up to, right? Like that I'm building my journey around. And then the Wayne Gretzky of YouTube, a guy named Daryl Eves, rolls into the channel. And Daryl comes in and he's dropping just gems. The kind of gems that he charges like $5,000 at conferences to go to these secret squirrel like YouTube blow up rooms. And he's just in Clubhouse in the hallway, so to speak, right? So then Daryl comes up, and then Daryl's, listening. And so again, I answered a couple more questions, and Daryl's like, "Yeah, Doc is right. You guys should listen to what Doc's saying, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, long story short, when I dove in Clubhouse, I was at like 5,800. 5,800 subs. I'm sitting today at almost 7,200. In the course of 3 weeks, my channel has grown over 1,000 people.
I saw that. I actually had the post on Facebook. It came through last night with your 7,000 on there, which I thought was very cool. Of course, I did like that.
It is a fantastic place to grow in, and not just go like gimme, but if you could go and provide some value to a conversation about something that people are into, so when I was in one of the DJ's rooms and I was listening to the guys talking and stuff, and I mentioned the same thing, and happened to be the moderator was on the same, point as me. At this point, everybody should stop goofing off and just go to Mixcloud and grow your email list and do some old school boots on the ground marketing. You know what I mean? Like we used to go to the colleges and pass out flyers and be at the what do you call that, the college center, right? Here we have a different name for it. It's so funny.
Well, it could be a
campus center. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
And Judah will know because I see Judah's in the chat, bro. We used to sit up at campus center and pass out flyers to our events and stuff, and then go to Tower Records and put it in a little box. And I mean, bro, there's
all
ways.
The bulletin boards.
There's ways to grow your thing, bro. It's like, yo, I'm doing house stream. Okay, I'll use Judah because Judah's a salsa guy, right? And that's kind of dope, right? Judah could be like, hey, I'm doing a 3-hour Latin stream on Saturday night, which would be, say, 12 p.m. here, but, that's 7 p.m. your time, right? And he'll be like, okay, so I'm going to do this 2-hour Latinx stream, 7 p.m. Central on Saturday, January 9th. He could go to Facebook. You can't spin on Facebook, but you could buy a $15 ad that says the first 50 people get into this room for free. Everybody else is 2 bones. Okay?
Well, there's another thing you can do, guys. If you wanted to do that, you could even get a licensed set of music. So, like we like Epidemic Sound or whatever, but you could do that. You could find a few tunes, play on Facebook Live, perfectly legal, and then send them to where you want to go. Just like what you're talking about.
Right. So then what will happen is, okay, so you do your stream, right? And then maybe you get 100 people and maybe you didn't make much that night, but 100 people actually heard you play. So then when you do it the next one, you say, hey, we'll be back next week, and you know, I gotta pay for this mess. So next week is gonna cost $5 to get in. But however, if you can affiliate link me, you know, 3 extra people to this party, yours is free. Cause we used to do that, right? We used to tell the kids at the school, but like, look, I'm gonna give you this flyer. And this flyer, here's your code, right? If you get 10 people to buy tickets, your ticket's covered. Boom.
Yeah.
Hustles, right?
Yeah.
Like we had a street team like 250 deep for our raves. Cause we would throw
awesome.
raves, you know, 8,000-9,000 people deep at a racetrack. You know what I'm saying? And we had like at least 200-300 ground hustlers out there slinging tickets, and the raves would be popping. So using that old school methodology, like build your email list that way, man. If nothing else, if they just came to hear you play and say you had to do this for like a month, you're now building your email list. And then when your email list is over 1,000, your Zoom plan only has room for 150 people. Now it's a FOMO problem, right? I want to hear this set, but
Right.
there's only 150 butts in the joint, okay? And then so when my man Judah come through and be like, yo, I'm dropping the music and it's going to be that, you know, I'm going to bring in the salsa dancer to help you guys with your moves, you know, and so she's going to be showing you moves like his wife, right? Like, you know, she's showing the moves. Everybody else is over there listening and grooving, you know, they're cleaning the house. They're like, dun, 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 with the vacuum and whatnot.
Right.
Then you start to develop, yo, God, that was fun, man. We went to this thing, and my boy was playing, and his wife was teaching us the rest of the moves. And, you know, like, I'm a beginning salsa cat, but, man, I loved it. Next thing, I'm walking around the house with my broom. You know, I'm cleaning up. I'm doing my little thing. Got the dog doing it like that Chihuahua gif. You know what I'm saying? And then now you created a FOMO. So as you do this every weekend, you basically, after about the third, fourth weekend, you could upgrade your Zoom plan to 500. I'm pretty sure of it, you know. You know, so like I think that's the.
Again, if you're good, you're going to get an audience, guys. That's really what it comes down to. You know, you got to be clever, you got to be creative, and you got to be consistent. But if you're good at what you do, you're going to get an audience. There's demand for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you.
Tell me something. How much do you know about Kajabi?
I'm fixing to dive in, bro. It's
I was
expensive, but I'm fixing to dive in.
Yeah, no, it's about $200 a month after you get going here. But
I was going to tell you that the one thing that you should be doing right now is build a clubhouse room called Generating a 6-Figure Wedding DJ Business. A wedding DJ and events business. And then go build a course on Kajabi, and
well, is it strictly for building a course and a membership, you know, or is it just so nicely integrated that you can really just, you know, make things happen with it? Yeah, I mean, I use so many different programs. So for all you guys that are out there,
that's why I'm getting ready to get into it.
I'm tied into, you know, I use DJ Event Planner, and then I've got an email program that I subscribe to, and then I've got a calendar that I subscribe to so that you can book your sales meetings with us, or whatever you need to talk about. So, you know, then I've got my website. You know, it just goes on and on and on, and it's a lot of moving parts. And, you know, if you make a change in one place, now you got to go to 3 other locations to make a change. So I used to use a program. It was somewhat integrated. I changed off of that. And I don't know if I should tell the name of that or whatever, but, you know, I used Infusionsoft, which changed their name. I forget what they're called now, but I used to use Infusionsoft, also known as Confusionsoft for most people, because it's pretty complex. You know, you really almost have to hire an expert to get some of this stuff to work. And, you know, guys, don't be afraid if you have a business to hire somebody to get the work done that you need done. If you are not a designer, and I mean a real designer, like, don't do your own website. I'm sorry. A lot of guys, you know, you can go up there and do the website on one of these $10 a month deals. It's going to look like a DJ website. If that's what you're going for and that's the clientele that you're trying to attract, then, you know, feel free to do that. But I think if you're really looking to grow your business and be successful with it, I would look in a different direction. And, you know, these things cost money like it does for every business, but DJs don't seem to want to spend money on certain things. They want to steal their music library. They want to steal everything. They want to just, do whatever they want to do. They want to break all the rules. And then they're upset. Like, if you get 5 inquiries and all 5 of the people don't book you, like DJs are like up in arms, like, why didn't that person book me? Like, they contacted me. Guys, I may go through 20, 30, 40 people before somebody books me. Am I going to sweat that? No, because it's not my client. It's not my client.
So what do we come up with? There's 8 million of you guys in Chicago, right? Am I right? It's like 8 million?
8 million people or 8 million DJs? We got 7 million DJs.
Same thing, either way.
People. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, getting a 30 rack miss at 8 million people in your city is not even a statistical anomaly, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like 100. That's the realistic approach to get the right client that's going to be the perfect client for you so that you're going to be able to do a great job. You're a great match. Every client is not a great client for you. Some people argue that, like money's money, any gig is good. But I see all these guys in all these different groups and, they're like, oh, I took this soca party. Hey guys, what are the top 20 soca records? I've never played soca before. How do you expect that you are going to be successful at that event when what the client wants is something you know zero about? Now, granted, everybody's got to grow and got to learn, but you got to do some research. You got to be a little more prepared than that. Maybe you should hire a soca DJ to work with you that night and do that a couple times if you're trying to break into it to kind of see what's going on. But it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for your business if you just go, oh yeah, it's a gig, I'm going to take that gig. Every gig is not the right gig. And you're only setting yourself up for problems, because if you're really honest with yourself and you don't know something that you're not an expert in, don't pretend to be one, because you're fighting an uphill battle. And that's what I would tell you, and I just think that's good business, guys.
It's funny. I'm sitting here looking right now. I'm looking right now, Scott. I went and Googled virtual event DJ, and bruh, that set of Google terms is basically wide open. There's a couple of guys who have posted stuff on their page, but what I mean is wide open is the majority of this is just people trying to get booked. See, these guys didn't even have enough common sense that you put up your page on how to get booked, but then you sit there and you generate like 10, 15 articles about the topic so that Google now sees you an expert, so that when somebody comes up and says like, hey, I need a virtual DJ, there's more than just you talking about yourself. The one person who has done that is DJ Will Gill. Don't know nothing about him. He has a picture on his page right quick here. He has a picture on his page that shows a Zoom party where there's a bunch of people smiling. And then he has a couple articles, some YouTube videos, but as you scroll down here, he does have a couple articles on the matter, a couple more YouTube videos. And how to DJ on Zoom, connect your controller, get your DJ software, activate Zoom, set up Zoom, blah, blah, blah. And this right here alone has set him as the one and only authority on Google on virtual DJs. Which
now, is this I'm not looking at this and I can't really see it through what we're talking over here with Ecamm. But is he trying to get gigs, or is he trying to sell basically a content to people? Is he trying to sell a membership?
I honestly think he's getting both, because what happens if you go there, right, and you looked up virtual event DJ, because see, people don't understand this mess, bro. You go find a virtual event DJ because you need a DJ for an event, right?
Yep.
So what you do is you go on and you search that term in Google, and then when you search that term in Google, this pops up. So if he just had his average, this is where people be, if he just added his, hey, I'm DJ Will Gill, I charge $400 an hour for a virtual event. Here's my calendar. Book your appointment. You're in Google with all the other cats that did that. Yeah. But what he did that was smart is he put his booking joint there, right? But in the process of putting his booking joint there, he also made a bunch of articles about virtual DJs. Not necessarily for DJs. He could make those articles tended to the wedding planner, the event planner, the all of the above. He's talking to them. Okay.
Yep.
Here's another thing that none of you guys are doing that you're slipping on. None of you guys are finding the event planning group on Facebook and joining that. What you did, you selfish people, is you joined our group and just post your streams, hoping that you're going to get your, $30 that night on PayPal. No. Are you high? You go and post, you go and find the event planning group. You sit in there and lurk. You answer questions. You don't be like, hey, buy me. You sit there, you answer questions. When you guys are looking for an event DJ, make sure that person has a good, like sound system, or make sure that these are the top wireless mic brands. Asking your writer, do they carry these wireless mic brands? These are the top event speakers. When you're planning, make sure you ask the question, like, this is how you ask for lighting. This is how you ask for up lighting. You can't really say what you should pay, but you can give a general range. If you say what you should pay, you're colluding, you can go to jail. Yeah. You can say uplighting should be anywhere between a $300 and a $700 upgrade.
Or more. Or more.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm just picking random numbers out of the sky. So you give details that makes it easier for them to buy. And then you go spend the $50 on a Facebook ad that basically lands in event planning groups as a virtual DJ. Right. And then so now these people in here event planning, all the event planners in the world are in hustle mode right now because all of the events are virtual right now.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of promoters even took hits over like New Year's Eve because they knew they couldn't put their event together. They did what they could. They did the virtual event. They gave it away for free just so people would keep them top of mind. And, if they've been running that party for, 5 or 6 years, whatever, their brand continues. And when things return to more of a normal situation, everybody will jump right in and it'll be business as usual and they'll be successful with it. So it's smart. They didn't give up on their brand.
Yeah. And then a lot of cats are killing it, bro. Like I just saw a couple guys convert their event planning to virtual conferences. And they're killing virtual conferences. Yeah. I am planning a virtual conference right now, so I know what a pain in the tuchus it is. So I'm just saying, bro, if you really want to be about that life, you should be figuring out how to put yourself where the people that are looking for you. We will be doing this for 1.5 to 2 years.
I agree. I don't think we are going to be returning to business as usual this year. The hope is that maybe the wedding business could return maybe by fall, September, October. Maybe we'll get those few fall dates in. I don't think we're going to see the corporate holiday parties again this year for December. I'm not even sure we're going to see our May, June wedding business, which is a big part of the business. Those are 2 big months. I'm still not convinced that we'll be doing that. And I've got events that have pushed back already for 2021. And, I've got events that start up in March or April that we're probably going to be pushing back. And I'm pretty sure the May and June dates, we will probably be pushing back as well. And for some of these people, we've pushed them 2, 3, 4 times already. So, as badly as they would like to get their event done and have a great time, I'm just not sure it's going to happen yet. So we've got to, it's a little bit of a wait and see approach here. But I think we'll know more by April, we'll kind of have a better feel for where we stand with everything. I think right now there's just so much going on and there's so many things that are up in the air that it's a crystal ball, look into it and it's clear. You can't see anything.
100%. And now it's going to be here for a minute, but like, this is an opportunity for folks to like, nut up and get in there and build a business where the business doesn't exist yet. What you don't want to do is wait until everybody figures this out, because now you're back at the bottom. All you cats that's been in the middle complaining about the uppers for a long time, this is your shot, bro. This is your shot to take it over. Because what's going to happen, the people with the money that know how to do this, they will build teams that basically come in and take your slide. And I'm telling you, as just looking at the keywords on that, bruh, there was not a lot of people searching that. So that's why dude owns the thing right now. And there's ways to do it, bruh. Let's see. I'm just looking at something real quick.
Well, look at the streaming game. I mean, when we first got into this in the beginning of March, when everybody was basically starting to find other ways to do things, we all got into streaming, a number of us. And if you've watched the shows and gone back and looked at the broadcasts that were done back in April, did we start this in April, Doc?
May.
Or May. May. Okay, so we started in May. If you go back and look at the shows, I know this came up with the other show that I do, which is the Ref Room show that I do. Somebody commented that they went back and looked at some of the previous shows, and when you look at like what we do now compared to what we did back then, it's night and day. So this has been a great time for guys to grow, and not much was expected if you started back in April or May or June, because it was all new technology to everyone. But if you've continued to grow, now you are definitely a leg up on your competition or anybody else that wants to jump in. There is going to be a learning curve for those people to catch up to you. So it's not too late ever to jump in at some point, but now would be better than when things really open, and you're going to expect to benefit from that. But again, I'm in agreement with Doc. I'm not convinced we have much of a 2021 opportunity out there in terms of the actual live show. I think that that's still going to be questionable. I know I have a friend of mine that is a major concert promoter. I'm talking about like Grateful Dead skills and like the big names, the A-list type entertainment, and he's looking to come back in July. But I'm not convinced that July will be the return date for a lot of that stuff. I think that's what they're hoping for. That's why I still say maybe we're looking hopefully to be back by September. We could get the September, October business in, get a little business on the books for this year. But, it's too soon to tell. It really is.
And dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking up like booking virtual event DJ in YouTube in my keyword tool, and currently, bruh, it's like 16,500 searches a month in one setup.
Is that national that you're looking at? That is 16.5, or are you looking at from regional? Like, is that like Honolulu and you're?
No, this is national. And
yeah, I was going to say that would be a lot of searches for a little small area.
Right. And then I'm looking at just like virtual event DJ, and it's over 1 million searches a month for this terminology, but it's open because nobody's ranking for it. So if I was you and I'm, doing this type of thing, I would just make videos about this. I would make a series of videos about this. Virtual event DJs, how to find one. Virtual event DJs, how to be one. Virtual event DJs, what you should be asking for as a customer. Virtual event DJs, what you should be offering as a service provider. And just, you could generate like 10, 15 videos out of that one topic, and then you will rank on it. And where are those people going to go check first to see where they can book?
They're going to go to Google.
No, they're going to go to your page that's in your link when you say link is in the description.
Yeah.
If you would like to book me, here's my link. And the reason why they would try to book you is because you didn't already prove you knew what the hell you was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't know nothing about YouTube. Bro. Just grew my channel by over 1,000 subscribers in a month. I don't know nothing about this shit. Keep listening to your ego, or you can listen to people that know what they're talking about.
That don't know how difficult it is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is very difficult to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's not something that happens overnight, guys.
No, but it's the work that just needs to happen. And if people put that in, bro, I'm telling you, they'll get in where they fit in. It just requires someone to just want to do that work. It's just strange, but it is what it is, man. I'm telling you. And so I'm just saying, like, and right now, honestly, because that search level is pretty high, and yet the amount of people that are creating that content is very low. Even if 5 or 6 people nailed it at one time, you guys will all become the top 5 search rankings.
And not only that, they may not be in your region, so you might be looking at somebody that's in Hawaii, but you're in Chicago. Well,
it doesn't matter because it's virtually.
It doesn't matter because it is virtual, yes, but typically they're going to try to have some resemblance of the area that they're in, and I think that makes a lot of sense because musically things aren't always consistent from location to location.
I would be sending a bag of coffee to every wedding planner in the freaking phone book in my area. I would be sending a box of chocolates. I'd be sending a freaking cupcake or a pizza or something and be like, yo, I'm still in the game. I'm still doing virtual events, just a little something, $5-10 type thing. And if there's 100 of them, yeah, it's going to cost you 500, but you book one gig that covered it. But you're not going to just book one gig. You know why? Because nobody else is reaching out to them like that. Everybody else is like, hey, you got a job for me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody else is like reaching out. Be like, hey, if you're having a hard time booking weddings right now because people are curious about their DJ or whatever, hey, let me know, man. I'm welcome to come to the Zoom meeting and I can just provide support from a music and sound standpoint on things that we might be able to do. The other thing that I would be doing, reaching out to my ISPs and be like, is there a way, because we used to do this for events, right? We used to buy a dedicated ISDN line. I understand technology has changed, but just stick to it.
ISDN, I haven't heard that in a while.
But we used to buy dedicated ISDN lines for a particular event, right? So you might be able to talk to your cable providers and be like, hey, I'm doing this event. I need to know how much would it cost me to guarantee a personal frame or a static IP for this 2-day event where I'm going to be, I need 100 down and 100 up. And they know, but people don't ask because they just assume it doesn't exist, but it does exist because they do it for sporting events.
I mean, you could do that.
They do it for sporting events
in
all
Chicago,
the time.
I mean, if you 100 up and 100 down is, that's gigaspeed. We've got that available here. That's what I'm on here.
No, but I mean, for an event, you want to get a static IP where they're going to give you priority packets for that particular time, and they have ways to do that, right? Be like this is going to be a dope event. I'm talking to folks around the world. I got about 3,000 invitees. I just need to know that I'm going to be solid this day. Can I get a bump up? Then once you figure out that's a possibility and what it costs, then you go contact all your wedding people and be like, hey, did you know? For a small fee, I can get you set up where you got a Zoom wedding that's not going to glitch, because they don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be sexist, but I'm fitting to be sexist. Not a lot of the females or males that are doing wedding planning know that you can call your ISP and get dedicated packet line. Not a lot of them. That just is what it is. I'm not even trying to be a douche about it. That's facts.
I don't even know that much about it myself. I know
you
that
don't need to. You got to be the person to go get the answer.
Well, we've had some events where, we've had the clients request to have streaming done. And unfortunately, as much as I know about the streaming, I can't do everything by myself. So
you don't have to know. That's what I'm telling you. All you got to do is make the phone call to the phone company or the ISP, because they're going to make it happen. Okay. And like say, you call Spectrum. Spectrum's like, F you, we don't do that. You know who does do that? The cell providers, the small bells. In my neighborhood right now, I have a small bell called Hawaii Dialogic Television. They will bring a freaking van with a satellite dish on it to your event and get you fast Wi-Fi at the event. They got a van. It's a mint green van with HDT on the side like the A-Team. And when that arm goes up, boom, they are connected into the same satellite that is to 5G that you guys think is melting your brain, but they will bring you heat to your event, because I used to hire them to do food truck rallies.
Oh, that's very cool. That is very cool. I haven't seen that here in Chicago yet. So,
and if it don't exist, then I guess you better make one, fam, because you're going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it exists, man.
Yeah,
people don't know it exists. It exists. If you call the cell phone company and be like, yo, I need you to bring the event trucks out, because if you notice, the sporting events somehow are always sponsored by T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, because they bring the connection. Like, you don't have to know the science behind that. None of your damn business. I just need to, hey, yo.
I just need to know it works.
Dave? All right, Dave, can you get me a way to get a, guaranteed, high-speed traffic for this event for this one day, and what does it cost? And then when they tell you, you call a wedding planners, because people are so desperate about their weddings right now. If it was going to cost them $1,000 for that day to get a line that they won't be beloved, you know what I mean? They will pay.
Dude.
right? All you need the bride stuck on I do be like, and then like her cheek is over here and her eyes are over here. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like people, everybody got excuses, bro. Everybody got excuses, but I'm just saying. Like one
Like
of my
elbows, everybody's got a couple.
long-term statements of mine is, hey, losers make excuses, winners make it happen. I'm just saying.
So
and it
true.
doesn't matter
So true.
that it's expensive. You're not paying for it at all. And the worst thing you could do is guess what is in your customers' pockets. I have screwed that up for so many years.
Yeah, you never know, folks. You never know. The people that you least expect to be your client can be your best client. And the people that you expect will be your client, not going to happen.
Bro, I have had a situation where a client I didn't want to deal with, I literally tripled my price. And I was like, this is the price. And they, you know what they said to me, which really messed me up? They go, that's it? Oh, I was expecting it to be, which would have been like 4.5x my price. And then I was like,
yep. You never know.
oh,
you never know.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, man. Like, I just think
again, it comes down to showing your value. You know, if you can prove your value to somebody, a lot of people when they don't know. I mean, think about this. If there's something that you're looking at, you say, well, what's the first question that comes to mind? Well, how much does that cost? So if I point back here and there's a mic preamp, okay, like a channel strip. Okay, what is that? I don't know what it is. Probably what's the first question you're gonna ask? Well, what is it? And the next question would be, well, how much does it cost? And that's how people start a conversation. And you can't be offended by that somebody says, well, how much does it cost? Or what do you charge? Because they don't know what else to ask you. And it's a fair question. If I said I need to go get tires for my vehicle, I'm like, well, you know, what do you want? Do you want a Pirelli? Do you want a Michelin? Do you want a Goodyear? Do you want a Continental? Well, what does it cost? You're going to start to try to put it into a frame of reference so you can feel out, is this a $100 tire or is this a $2,000 tire? Now you can say, okay, you kind of start to feel out, okay, that's probably the better side of the tire. Maybe not necessarily. Maybe they just charge more for it. Still round, it's still rubber, still gets X amount of miles, but you got to figure out what is the difference. And when they start to show you the value that, oh, well, this is a radial. If you park your car in the garage for a month, you won't have a flat spot and your car won't go boop, boop, boop every time the car goes around. Or, you know, this tire is capable of getting 60,000 miles versus 20,000 miles. Or this will get you more gas. You start to make decisions, and it's no different in the DJ world. If I say, oh, do you want uplighting? Well, I don't know. Tell me what uplighting is. Oh, well, it's these lights. Well, what does it cost? That's going to be the next question that comes out because it's the natural question. That doesn't mean they're not interested in it. It means they are interested in it. And now you have to explain the value to make it appeal to somebody, you know, so that they can understand what they're going to get, the benefit for them. I mean, that's just the way it works, folks. So don't be offended by that question. How much does it cost? That is not a dead-ended question when they say that. That is an indication that they're interested in buying. The next indication is, you know, like, you know, do you take credit cards? Do you have a payment? How do you know, what is the deposit? These are the questions. These are all indicators that somebody is interested in your product or service.
Yeah. And I mean, and you'd be amazed, man. You'd be amazed at well, I guess when I was into selling, right, selling cars and whatnot, they used to tell us to make sure that you're selling benefits, not features, right?
Right.
And that was a blanketed statement, but the reality is what you want to be selling is emotion and feeling.
Yeah, you just took the words out of how you're going to feel. What does that new car smell like? Does that smell good? Do you feel comfortable in this? Does this car make you feel good? Do you feel like you've arrived when you get in this car? Or
do these jeans make my butt look big?
Your friends, yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
These jeans make your butt look 10 pounds less, okay? Yeah. Oh, now you're interested. I'll take 2 pair. and
you know what's funny, Scott?
How much do they cost? Because you're interested in buying them, okay?
But you know what the proof about selling emotion and feelings? The proof is in about 50% of the population is right hand. Like, and it's funny now because Samsung is caught on. Samsung has finally stopped trying to sell that one extra feature that they thought the iPhone didn't have, because it doesn't take iPhone that long before they not only say that's a good idea, but the idea doesn't work on your particular phone right now, but you done sold everybody on the possibility. So they'll sit back and then they'll perfect it, and then they'll bring it out where it functions straight out of the gate. And then people are like, yeah, I've always said this. The Android guys will sell you on a feature that sounds good in practicum and hardly ever works, right?
It doesn't work.
It just doesn't work. Whereas Apple won't rush a feature. They'll wait until it's fully baked. They'll eventually put it out. And then everybody would think Apple invented it, even though they didn't necessarily invent it, just because theirs worked when it came out. So the echo chamber was bigger. But when you watch Apple commercials, and now finally when you watch Samsung commercials, Apple doesn't sell you on features. They'll be like a blanket statement. This is the best ever camera that we made. And
yes,
the
best camera we've ever made, and it's the fastest chip we've ever put in the phone, and everything else.
But they don't talk about the stuff. They'll show you what it means, right? They'll show you emotional-oriented videos,
They'll
right?
show you the cool picture, and this was taken on that iPhone. Okay.
And they don't even say that. They put it in this little white writing in the corner.
Right.
There's the dopest one ever that makes people cry is the one where the kids got the iPad and they were like, yo, grandpa, check out this movie, right? And what they had done was throughout the day, they went around and they scooped up pictures of the grandpa and old pictures of him and his wife and their wedding and all this other cool stuff. And by the time that commercial over in the middle of the Super Bowl, your ass was crying. Your ass was crying because grandpa got to see his first love, who had the first Christmas without grandma. Grandma had passed on. And that commercial didn't have any words in it other than, hey, grandpa, we made this for you. And everybody was crying. So that's what the point is. You have to sell the emotion. You're not selling, the dumbest thing you can say is, I'm the number one DJ. I was Billboard, blah, blah, blah. I won this championship and that championship. That has nothing to do with the bride or the event planner.
It's about them, not about you.
I don't give up.
Remember that. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about them. What can you do for their day? How can you make their day better and more successful? And what are they gonna feel like in the process? Those are all the things that you have to be
was
concerned
that Frere Jacques on your doorbell?
No, that's the bell, the tower bell. Check with the tower. Anytime you want to do something, you got to check with the tower, right? Before you take off, you check with the tower.
There you go.
Who's the tower? My wife. My wife is the tower. So,
hey, Judah, we was talking about you earlier. You wasn't here, but we were giving an example of how to do private streaming through Zoom, and then we were using your sort of music as a way of doing it. It's funny that you came now. I mentioned about you, but So
he's trying to tell you need to tune in sooner. Okay.
Yeah. So just watch the replay and you'll get what I said. Like I think it's a plan. I think it's a plan of action. Yeah, that's
understand.
But, other than that, fam, I just think this year it's really time for all of the guys. It's taking this long. We're not getting back where we thought we were going to get. Now it's time to knuckle up and figure out how you're going to course correct and make it happen. So again, everybody can keep making excuses, or you can make it happen. I'm looking at the Facebook group. I see that Fulgens was for a minute. What he did with his community and being able to turn like music into a fitness channel where they got the exercise cats doing their thing, and these girls are sick, man, and they're basically just dancing and grooving. So it's good music, everyone's dancing, having a good time, and you're working out, and it's like a Christian workout. You know what I mean? So they took like Christian hip hop type thing and connected it with, I won't call it Zumba because it's not really Zumba, but it's like that Caribbean style, let me dance, work out till you sweat, you drip, like the way we used to throw parties back when you were saying in the soca days. You know what I mean? And they turned it into something dope, man. And like, that's what you can do. Like, again, you can sit back and whine about not being able to be at the club, or you can stay in the house and make a grip, and your liver will be much happier because you're not tanked while you're doing it, or take a chance of getting shot or throwing that bottle at the booth or things like that. You're not going to get shot in the house unless the wife caps you.
Well, the good news too is, guys, I think we've turned the corner. I think we've at least hit a point where we know better things are coming soon. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take, and it may take a little time still, but
yeah,
we're in a better spot than we were before.
It's going to be some minutes. I'm laughing because your phone is making.
My wife is texting me. Protesters have stormed the Capitol.
They protested and stormed the Capitol.
Oh, okay. That's what all the things were for. All right.
It's crazy.
Anyway, yeah.
Like, that's going to do anything. Oh, you know what? Nah, we changed our mind. We go ahead and, now that you guys have stormed the Capitol, we'll go ahead and let them back in.
Yeah.
That's just funny.
Crazy times we live in, folks. Crazy times. So,
I really don't understand.
We don't go there. We stay away from that. We're not going there. Anyway, that's why I tuned in late. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry about that. I got to turn on the TV. I've been on streaming all day because I have my other show before this. We've been on since like 11:30 this morning, Chicago time. So, we're gonna find out what's happening.
Judah said, "I get it now." All right.
Yeah.
Well, Judah, you just watched the beginning of the replay. We went straight in right away, so it's not that long. You won't have to sit through the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good option for cats out here. And the one thing that I'll reiterate, as we close this up, guys, if you are not like going in Google and figuring out how to rank these search terms that people are searching, you're sleeping right now, because nobody is really ranking for it, except for it turns out that Gil does a lot of like high-end events for like celebrities, so they're not going to hire him. But even if you become the second ranked person, or you might even outrank him, because right now his content will probably be old. Yeah,
that's true.
Like, it's time. Like, you're no longer just trying to sell in your area, and even if you are trying to sell in your area, you got to go back to the old school method, bruh. Flyers at towers, so to speak. I would even go as far as to, like, go get a mail list from someplace and just send out a bunch of mails real quick. Email's still king, but man, it'd be just super funny if I got a flyer in my mailbox that said the Hot Mix 5 was doing a private reunion on Zoom and it was $10. I got $10. I would be there. It's just one of those random things, because you wouldn't know. Like, if you're outside of Chicago, you wouldn't know. But
check your mailbox, Doc. You just got one.
I'm just saying.
Like, send it $10 over. I'll take it on Cash App. Okay.
Yeah, like
Cash App. Makes 5.
Just, I don't know. Get a couple of partners together and just try to do a Zoom. I mean, it's going to cost you $14 to test it out.
That's right.
And
actually, I don't even know if it would cost you that now, because I don't know if it's passed, but Zoom had a deal where they cut the minimum. It used to be they'd only give you 40 minutes if you were on a free account, and they took that down for the holidays.
Oh, yeah,
so I
they
don't know
was
if
doing some kind of holiday joint.
So I wonder. I mean, you might even be able to get hour and a half now.
Oh, and then look, here's how you might be able to do something where you don't get in trouble.
How about do it legally?
Yeah, you can do it off of Mixcloud. But I mean, you can run Mixcloud in through your Zoom room.
Yes.
I guess that might work.
You could run, you could do Ecamm with your virtual camera and go into Zoom.
Honestly, you just gave me here's what I would do. I would run the show on Mixcloud. I would put in a link for Buy Me a Coffee and a link for Patreon in the description of your feed, and in the middle, like, somewhere, where someone can just go and check it out, and then use Google advertisements and Facebook advertisements to get people to your show on Mixcloud. That's the game plan.
And build
Don't do
build
nothing
your email
goofy.
list.
Don't be nothing crazy. Like literally just pay your fifth freaking $15,
$15.
right? Do your sets on Mixcloud and buy Facebook ads for another $20 and quickly get your Mixcloud over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 folks. While you're on your Mixcloud description or your Mixcloud bio, add the link to buy me a coffee.
Put the link.
I think right now, buy me a coffee is better than Facebook or, I personally think right now it's better than Cash App or PayPal or whatever like that, because it does allow for memberships, which Cash App and PayPal guys don't really offer. And
talking about Patreon?
Patreon too. Patreon is different. Patreon is different, and that's also a fantastic way. But buy me a coffee, bro. Check it out, dude. I got it's. Let me tell you what my link is. Not that I want anybody
for buy me a coffee.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe it's just buy me a coffee /Doc Rock, but I could be wrong because I don't know. But it is dope. And okay, here's a prime example. I'm just gonna say how crazy this is. I don't want to mess up my page, so let me go to a new tab here. I put the link up yesterday, just showing people that I got it, and out of S&Gs, I think like 10 people already bought me a coffee.
Now, I'm not as familiar with that app. Is there a set, like, do they have predetermined donations that you have on there, or you can set it up yourself?
You can pick. You can pick. So you can do just general supporters, right? And then you can do memberships, and then you can build followers, right?
So it's kind of like a Patreon.
Yeah, but so simple. It's way simpler. Okay,
well,
so here's a prime. You're
an eCam expert, with the beta and everything. When are we going to get the feature there? I forget what the code is that doesn't play well with eCam, that allows everything like you see in the streamers with Twitch to run all the stream elements and things of that nature. When are we going to
right now?
I have it set up on mine. It's never popped up. It's never worked. And I had everything set up. So I'm kind of curious about that, but
you have it right now. Actually, I turned it off, but if I would have left that on, it probably would have rang about 10 times during the show, because since we started, another 10 people subscribed to the channel.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at these integrations right here. So there's a stream alert. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you a quick copy. Let me copy this real quick, and then I'm going to make a fast stream alert over here. I'm going to put it in this little box, and then I'm going to paste in this, and that should be working. And I'm going to call this coffee COFFEE, and I'm going to press enter.
That's ENTAR, NTAR.
Okay,
just kidding.
So you see this little link right here?
Yep.
So I can put this joint, and then someone can buy me a coffee. And then let's just say somebody bought one.
Well, I can't buy it because I'm going through eCam. I can't click it, obviously. But
no, you can't click it in video anyway. When they can make it where you can click stuff in video, the internet will
all over
be effed up. I want it to work, but it will for sure be effed up.
Yeah.
So in theory, what happens when someone buys a coffee, or one or two or three or four, it eventually should pop up in the thing. And yeah, I don't know if I got it set right.
Just got a coffee.
Okay. Huh?
You just got a coffee?
So yeah, so what happens is, though, it should
buy me a Diet Coke, folks. Buy me a Diet Coke.
Yeah. Anyway, so but all you really need to do is have this in your stream, just floating, right? Yeah. And the dope part about having it floating in your stream, when someone sees it, they'll be like, oh, let me go see what that is. They'll go look at it and be like, yo, the dude is giving good information, or they're playing good music, or they're doing XYZ. Let me go ahead and kick them a coffee, right? And then boom, it just gives them an opportunity to get in. And then that's all. That's what you want. Like, if you're providing people good value, it'll go. Now, when the stream alert is working, it starts climbing. Then now people are like, oh, I want to see my name up there.
Yeah,
So they'll go and
exactly. No, absolutely.
you know
Peer
what I mean?
pressure.
So whether it's a $2 or $5 or whatever,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then they'll feel it. And so what's cool about the $2 coffee in like a DJ situation, that's a very small tip for a song. Most people are used to $5 to $10 tips for a song anyway. So they'll be like, oh, let me just get this fool 6 coffees. Boom. That's a 12 spot. You know what I'm saying? Or a 10 spot, 5 coffees. So, I mean, and it don't have to be coffee. It could be beer. It could be wine, pizza, whatever. But the site is called Buy Me a Coffee.
Buy me a slice of pizza, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you see
Frankie's coming over. Frankie's coming over because she heard buy me a slice of pizza. She's right here. She wants her.
Well, it's funny because they did have buy me a slice of pizza as one of the options. You can change it to whatever you want. You could be like, buy me a CD.
I mean, adult libation.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but
yeah.
I mean, we're in a different spot, gang. So you gotta use what you got to get what you want, as they say.
Oh, there you go. I've heard that one before. I like it too.
It's coming. Like, we're in a different world, but it's all coming, man. There we go. Yeah. Someone bought you a coffee. Great work. That's how it works. You see what I mean? And then I would like it to line up a little better, but that's all right. I guess I could just zoom this to full screen, and then I'll just have that running.
My friend is working the keyboard here. You know what time it is, right, Doc?
What's that? Oh,
Frankie time.
It's Frankie. You know, Frankie be quick with
Frankie
it.
time. It's Frankie.
So, yeah, man, I'm going to try this out on my stream this Saturday. I'm going to just have this up in there, and then if anybody wants to purchase a coffee, then it'll pop up.
I'll buy you coffee on Saturday if I'm around.
Somebody done bought this cat a coffee. But, I mean, man, just come up with these things, man. Just everybody get in, use your stuff. And the dope part is you can build a membership page, right? So you build this membership page, people will be like, yo, I'm going to give this dude, $2-3 a month just to support them. And then you just run your show on Mixcloud.
Yeah.
Because Mixcloud doesn't have a way really for people to tip you good.
Yeah, that's something that they're missing. There's some things missing. I mean, they're still developing. It'll come.
That's it.
It'll come.
Once they do that,
there's workarounds. There's workarounds. It's all good. Is there a fee for, do they take a percentage on your buy me a coffee?
I'm finna put
I'm
the
guessing
link
they
in
probably
the chat.
take a little percentage.
They probably do. I don't know that part yet, but here's the situation.
Either way.
I say, if I was in a place where I could sell 10,000 of something for $100 and it was a 50% fee, I'd
still pay it. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people get really, oh my God,
YouTube
takes 30%.
Oh my God, they're going to take 10% from us or 15%. It's like, look,
you can have 15%.
When you get 85% of what you didn't have before, you're doing well. So
yeah, I'm saying you can have all of that.
I am blowing up here, man. I don't know what's going on, but I am blowing up.
Yeah.
Okay. It's from some other people too.
They want you to go storm the Capitol, Scott.
I guess, man. It's a long walk. I'll leave now. It's only 1,000 miles. I get there soon.
Oh, dang. I feel, why am I dumb? Is it Springfield?
What? The capital?
Yeah.
For Illinois? No, this is the capital of the United States. That would be Washington, D.C.
No, I got that, but then I just had a
capital of Illinois is Springfield.
Okay, I was just making sure I got
about,
my Animaniacs on.
I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours away. 2.5 hours away.
No, I didn't want to fail my Animaniacs because my niece and I used to play this game when she was in like first grade. I used to help her.
Hawaii. What's the capital of Hawaii? Is Honolulu the capital?
Honolulu. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's actually 4 blocks that way. I can walk
right
there 4 blocks.
How far are you from the beach, or do you have beach everywhere?
1 block.
1 block to the beach. Do you have a view? Do you have a view of the water?
All day, every day.
Oh man, that's nice.
What I do.
That's nice.
I stare.
What's your temperature today? What are you guys? 75, 80?
It is 79 degrees.
79 degrees, and is it sunny?
Oh no, it's raining right now. But our rain is funny, dude.
79 degrees. Everybody's running around with their down vest on because it's cold there. They're freaking out.
Fam, how's this view for Vlogmas Day 2? And look, the moon. Gorgeous. Sorry about the ropes in the
I'm losing your. Is that your
No,
view from the estate?
that is my view.
From the
And
your view from the rock, from the Dock Rock.
yeah, every day I get to stare at the ocean, and
That's awesome, man.
it's kind of gangster. Right now they're cleaning the windows, hence the
I got
rope.
an alley. I got an alley with a car wash next to me. I get to stare at, or I get to stare at the brick
Hey,
wall
but
of the
think
building
about
that's
this,
like 3
guy.
feet away
You
from
get
me.
the
Oh no! I get the idiots that the door is closed on the car wash and they're still standing out there blowing their horns for
Oh,
10 or 15 minutes, thinking somebody's
man.
going to open up the door.
As a kid, that was my favorite movie, bro. I loved Car Wash. At the car wash, man.
Yeah, it's in my house. The car wash.
Bro, I love that
Talking about
movie
the
so
car wash,
much, bro.
yeah.
That is funny.
Commodore,
Anyway,
man, great song. Lionel.
let's wrap it up. Oh, Judah said he got a view of Pearl Harbor from the backyard. Okay, Judah, so make sure you let us know the next time the planes are coming, because I need a chance to get out of here.
Yeah, just a holler at your boy.
Yes. It's straight gangster.
All right, so we will see you guys next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Chicago time, which is what, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning there, Doc?
It's 10.
I get you out of bed every week.
It's 10. Hey, Judah, if
right.
you go to work today and they have Rocketbook flips in stock, send me a text, because that would save me walking 3 blocks. Because I went over there right before Christmas and they were sold out of everything Rocketbook. And I was like, damn it, Judah. And you wasn't working, so I couldn't make trouble to you.
Nice.
Let me know. Anyway, yeah, see you guys next week, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Scott, go into the group. Actually, I'll just text you the link. You should definitely set this thing up and put it in
I'll
your.
check it out. I'll find it. I'll Google it. I'll find it. Or
Put it
do
in
they
your
have an affiliate
referral
link
feed.
for you?
I don't think there's really an affiliate. I don't know if it works like that.
If you got a link, send it to me. I'd be happy to use it. You know that we support each other here. So
yeah. I mean,
for all you
I
guys
don't
out
know
there,
what they do, or maybe they like give me a break on my fees for a month or something like that. But yeah, just check it out, because I think it's something you can add to the ref room. It's a great thing.
I mean, we got a
ref room.
Cash App thing up there that hasn't worked for us at all. So we did that, and we did the.
I don't know what it is about Cash App, man. It's a weird trigger.
I did something. Was it Stream Elements? I think we did. I got to look. I wonder if I pop this up. I've got it on one of them. Let me just see something. This is going to look crazy to you guys. Let me see if I've got it on one of these, and I'll never be able to get back, so it's not going to work for me. No, I can't find it. I thought I had it on the Stream Deck up at the top on one of the things, and now I'm going to be like this again. So sorry, I screwed everything up.
I never get rich.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
See, now that song is stuck in my head, bro. I'm gonna have to go and crank it up real quick. I'm gonna have to be cranking it up.
Ditch. You never know who you might meet.
Hey, yo, I just got these, Scott. Studio upgrades.
Oh, nice. All right. What K-Rocks? Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, but it was a classic 5. But I got these in Raiders color. So
okay. Oh, Raider Nation. There you go. Support. I got friends here. They're all Raider
not the
Nation.
greatest, but
Raider
they're
Nation
not horrible,
too.
you know. So
that's
I mean, I got them on sale for $119 a piece. So that's mad cheap.
Oh, that's nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I just got to get I'm trying to tune them right now, which is going to take me forever because I'm such anal retentive.
Well,
But,
that's always the problem. I mean, that's how I am with voiceover stuff with any of the tools. It's crazy.
I got a question for you before we run. What do you think about, do you have to break in this type of monitor?
You have to break in this. What do you mean? Do you have to break in this type of monitor?
Play music at it for like 100 hours until the drivers are like, a little bit more fluid.
I've never heard that before anywhere, and I've been around all the engineers at all the radio stations.
An audiophile community,
certain things deteriorate with time. And when I say that, I mean, if you don't buy a good quality speaker, like for example, and I'm not trying to, like hurt anybody's feelings here, but if you go buy a quality speaker, a professional 15-inch speaker, and you take it out to an event, like a high-end JBL speaker, and you put that up against, say, and maybe I shouldn't even use the name, but
PV.
Let's say you buy a $200 speaker, from one of these popular. Well, I'm not going to say a name because I don't want to, like come off
American
as being
DJ.
a bad guy here. But the difference is once you turn that speaker up for a half hour or an hour at an event and it gets hot, you will notice a big degradation in the sound. Okay. It will not sound the same. And that is the big difference in buying like quality equipment. So when, we're talking about, DJs and buying what, value, like it's hard to sell that to a client. It's hard to say, well, my speakers after an hour aren't going to sound like crap. Because they would assume that you're a professional DJ, that you have professional equipment. But you and I and a lot of the people out there that understand sound and audio will understand what I'm talking about. And that is the difference. When you are buying a good piece of quality equipment, it's going to run at the same sound level, the same quality for hours and hours and hours and hours. I don't care if you stay out there all day. It's not going to make a difference. Where with a lower quality piece, it won't sound very good after a half hour, especially at a high volume. So that's the only thing I know about the speaker like that. I've never heard about breaking them in. I'm sure like anything, I mean, you get them warmed up, that's the sound that you're going to have. So that's what I would say is I would put them on and I'd warm them up maybe for a little while just to kind of give them a little break in. But I've never had an engineer come in the studio from a radio station and go, oh, yeah, we put these monitors. You're going to need to turn these up for 100 hours till you can figure out what they're actually going to sound like. I mean, that would be like you put on a pair of headphones, oh, well, you better turn these up full blast and listen for 100 hours before you actually know what they sound like. I don't think that's the case. We buy the earbuds like this and you put them in, and if they sound pretty good when you put them in, they're probably going to sound pretty good later.
True that.
So leave it at that, I guess.
There you go. All right, cool. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys, have a great week. DJ's live streaming with Doc and Scott. We are here 2:00 Chicago time, and you guys have a great New Year as we kick it off this week. It's great to see everybody back on the stream, and thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next Wednesday, everybody. Peace out.
Thank you.